Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're tackling a really common infrastructure problem.
The huge one.
Yeah. How do you get a razor-sharp 4K video signal from point A to point B when they're hundreds of feet apart without, creating a total wiring nightmare?
Right.
We're going to be looking at the technology that solves this HDBaseT and specifically a device, the WolfPack Balun extender, that pushes video, power, and control over a single CAT6 cable.
And you really have to understand that HDBaseT standard is all about convergence. It's stacking everything, the video, the audio, power, control signals, all onto one network cable.
It changes the whole game for installations.
It completely does. Now, look, this kind of simplification isn't exactly cheap. This unit we're looking at is about $300.
Okay.
But when you think about the labor costs, the complexity it gets rid of,
Yeah.
you can see how that value justifies itself pretty quickly.
Okay, let's unpack that value. I want to start with the thing that really jumped out at me, which is latency. You'd expect a delay, right? Pushing a signal over copper that far. But the source material says this adds virtually no delay. That sounds like fiber performance on regular copper wire.
And what's so interesting is the why. It's because the video signal is totally uncompressed.
No compression at all.
None. So we're talking about latency numbers. Get this. Under 10 microseconds over the full 330 feet.
Wow.
And if you're only going, say, 100 feet, it's down to like 3 microseconds. It's basically nothing.
And that's not just a speck on a sheet. That has real-world implications.
Oh, absolutely. Think about a big auditorium or a church. You need the image on the screen to be perfectly in sync with the speaker's lips. Any delay, and it just looks wrong. This solves that.
So it's instantaneous,
Yeah.
but does that quality, that fidelity hold up over the full distance? What are the limits?
They're pretty impressive for a true 4K resolution. So 3840 by 2160.
It's 30 hertz.
Yeah, at 30 hertz, you can reliably push that signal up to 215 feet with a good CT6 or CT7 cable.
And for a lot of applications, digital signs, presentations, 30 hertz is more than enough. You're not trying to do high-end gaming on it.
Exactly. And then if you drop down to your classic 1080p, well, you can go the full 330-foot distance, again, with no noticeable delay.
Okay, so let's get back to that convergence idea. It's obviously doing video, but what else is riding on that one cable? Let's start with power.
This is where HDBaseT is, well, it's just brilliant. It gets rid of the wall wart problem. It uses something called PC, power over cable.
Which is like PoE, power over Ethernet.
Very similar. It means you only need one AC adapter for the whole setup. You can plug it into the transmitter end or at the receiver end.
Yeah.
Either one powers the whole system.
That's a massive simplification. No more trying to find an outlet behind a TV that's mounted way up on a wall.
Exactly.
But let me push back a little here. What about the control signals, the IR and RS232? Why does merging that into the stream matter so much when a lot of high-end systems already have, separate network lines for control?
That's a really important question. It's not just about using fewer cables. It's about making the control logic simpler.
How so?
HD builds in bidirectional IR and RS232. Bidirectional is the key word. It means you can integrate it instantly with automation platforms like Control4 or Crestron. You get that two-way communication out of the box.
So you could be standing at the remote TV, use its regular remote.
And you can control the Blu-ray player or the source that's sitting in a rack 200 feet away. No complex programming, no workarounds. It just works.
So the core value here really is that it turns one simple copper cable into a multi-lane highway. For 4K video, for power, and for high-end control.
It absolutely does. And, this raises a really interesting question for the future, something you should really keep an eye on.
Okay.
So this unit uses PPC just to power the little receiver box. But the actual HDBaseT standard, the underlying tech, they can deliver up to 100 watts of power over that same cable.
100 watts, that's a lot more than a receiver needs.
A lot more. So here's the thought. If we're already using one cable to get rid of the receiver's power cord, what new possibilities open up when that single cable can deliver enough juice to power the entire smart display, or a network soundbar, or even a computer monitor with no other AC plug needed? That's when the real revolutions start.